Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Jamaica Railway Service. Now recently it's in the news that the Jamaican government is trying to get the railway service up and running again. They said it's going to cost hundreds of millions of US dollars to get the train service up and running. I think it's a very good idea and it would be a good investment. Jamaica needs a way to transport people from town to town other than on the roads. It's just too much of a demand. The buses, the taxis, they just aren't enough to get persons moving around in a speedy and orderly fashion. Now, this project to get the trains up and running, it's being done through the Ministry of Transport and Works. But all the other major infrastructure projects to do with the roads are being done through the Ministry of Economic Growth. So I'm not sure why, because you're going to need foreign investment. The government has said it that they're looking for foreign investment to get the trains up and running again. And with a price tag of hundreds of millions, I don't think I have an exact figure, of hundreds of millions of US dollars, I mean, I would think that the Ministry of Economic Growth would be the ministry to handle it. But nonetheless, it's being done by the Ministry of Transport and Works. Now, they said they're going to do it in 3 phases. But before we discuss that, the minister said something in one of his speeches, and this is Minister Shaw. He said that Jamaica was the 4th country in the world to have a railway service. So I have to ask the question, what happened? Why did the train stop running in Jamaica? There is a Jamaica Railway Corporation. It's probably still existing to this day because they are in commenting on this, the train starting to run again, so they're still in existence. So I cannot understand why the train stopped running in Jamaica. But if anybody knows, you can leave a message in the comment section below. But the government indicated they're trying to get the train service going, and in 3 different phases. 1 would be a passenger train, 2 would be a freight service, and 3 would be a tourist service. Now, the passenger service, it's actually a pilot project started this year to transport children to school from Old Harbour and Spanish Town to Kingston. And that project, as far as all indications are, it's working, it's a pilot project, and it's going well. So that will definitely help to get persons moving via the train. Another service that they are planning, and it should start soon, is a tourist service. So the persons could take a train ride across Jamaica to the Appleton Estate in St. Elizabeth. And that rum tour that Appleton offers is a very popular tourist attraction. So that will definitely help. And that service is to start either later this year or early next year. But that is in the works and it will start soon. Now, the freight service and the general to get persons moving outside of the school system, that hasn't started yet, and there are no plans to actually get that going yet. So I figure that's where this 800, or not 800, sorry, the hundreds of millions of US dollars would come in to get the passenger trains up and running. And it would only make sense if you can move people from all the major towns. So it doesn't make sense. Maybe you could start with a train service from Kingston to Montego Bay, or Kingston to Spanish Town and Kingston to Portmore. That's where the most of the population is in Jamaica. Kingston, the city of Kingston has 1 million people. Outside of Kingston, you're looking at Spanish Town and Portmore as the major population hubs. So it would make sense to start the service there, but it would also, in terms of freight, make sense to have these trains running right through the island. So I think this is a very good idea. I just wish the Ministry of Economic Growth was involved, because I can't imagine somebody investing hundreds of millions of dollars through the Ministry of Transport and Works when the Ministry of Economic Growth does all these major highways with that kind of price tag. So maybe it will switch over as they start the projects, but to raise that kind of money, I think the Ministry of Economic Growth would have been a better ministry to do it. But it's not impossible to raise that kind of money, because when the North-South Highway was being built, and this is where you have to really give the former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson credit, everybody said it was too expensive, nobody would invest that kind of money in Jamaica, and it was hundreds of millions of US dollars, but he persevered, he persisted, and the highway was built. And it was said by both persons in his party and persons in the opposition that if it was not for the persistence of P.J. Patterson, that highway would not have been built, because few persons were interested, or few persons thought it could be done. So based on that, and that not only was a highway built, but that project made other investors around the world realize that, guess what, we can invest that kind of money in Jamaica, it can work, and we can make a return. Because remember, the first part of Highway 2000 that was not built by China Harbour Engineering Company. It was built by a French company, and China Harbour Engineering Company came in after. So it's the same thing with the train service. It can be done. Persons will invest that kind of money in Jamaica, and it would be good to get a modern train service, not getting these old trains running again, but a modern train service. Mark you, even with the old trains, it's still a staff, but it would be good to have a modern train service. And that kind of investment is not impossible. It's very manageable, because persons have been investing in Jamaica, the airports have been divested, and persons in foreign companies invest in them. So it is possible, and that price tag is not, it can be done. So I think it's a very good idea that the government is taking on this project. It's going to take a little time, because these projects don't happen overnight, but it can be done, and I think it's a very good idea. Because this is just an example, you shouldn't have to be at a bus stop for over an hour in the morning to get a bus from, say, Spanish Town to Kingston. It shouldn't happen, not in this day and age. And let's be realistic, even with all the highways we have, we just don't have enough buses, and a train would be far more economical. In one go, a train could carry everybody. There is no limit as to how many persons could go on that train, because the distance between Spanish Town and Kingston is not that great. Remember, you don't have any stoplights, it's just one straight track. So I think this is an excellent idea, and it's not going to really kill the transport sector, because a taxi can carry legally 5 people. You can pack 7 into it. A train can carry 700, and you just add another car or a few more cars, and that's 1,000 people easily. And then these taxis and buses can operate different routes, and that way it will help the transport sector a great deal. So I think this is an excellent idea. And what do you guys think? You can leave your comments in the section below, and hopefully it will get started soon. We'll keep you guys updated as to the progress. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.